Howdy, folks. I'm Farron Wise. Welcome to our Mailbag Friday edition of the podcast, in which Consuelo and Ethan will read and respond to your emails. If you'd like to have them answer one of yours, send your question to agypsyskiss@gmail.com. Please include your first name, occupation, and city or state. Now let's get on with today's program.
All right, so today we're doing something a little different.
Ew.
Yeah, it's mailbag time.
Mailbag time, huh? Cool.
Yeah, we've gotten so many questions about this JCB treasure hunt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's trying to solve it.
It's really captured people's imaginations, hasn't it?
It really has. So
Yeah.
we thought, what better way to answer some of these questions than with someone who knows all about treasure hunts?
Well, I do love a good treasure hunt.
So we've got 5 letters we're going to look at.
Oh, 5. Okay.
Yeah, each one looks at a different part of the JCB mystery.
Sounds fun.
First up is Chris from Oregon.
Oregon. Okay.
Yeah, and he's really interested in the pictures in the JCB book.
The artwork.
Yeah, the artwork. He says,
Huh.
Dear Deep Dive,
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at the JCB book, trying to figure out the clues,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't stop thinking about the artwork.
Yeah.
Is it just there to set the mood, or could it be hiding secrets that lead to the treasure?
Ooh, that's a good question.
How should we be looking at these pictures?
That's a question a lot of treasure hunters, even experienced ones, trip up on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's easy to just see the artwork as decoration, but with treasure hunts, especially ones as complex as this JCB one,
Right.
everything is part of the puzzle.
Wow. So you're saying even the pictures could be clues?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about some famous treasure hunts from history, like the Beale ciphers or the Oak Island money pit.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those.
Often the pictures weren't just there to look pretty.
They were actually part of the puzzle.
They were key to solving it.
So we're talking like hidden symbols,
Mm-hmm.
secret codes in the pictures.
Yeah, sometimes it's a landmark hidden in the background. Sometimes it's the way the artist painted it, like maybe the brush strokes or colors
Interesting.
could point to a certain time period or place.
You have to really pay attention to everything.
It's all about training yourself to look deeper than just what's on the surface.
That's a good point. It's kind of like what art historians do.
Right.
They analyze paintings and look for hidden meanings and symbols.
And suddenly something that seemed totally normal means something completely different.
Okay, so next up we've got Paula from Santa Fe.
Say.
And she's wondering about the when of the JCB treasure hunt.
The when.
Yeah, she asks,
Right.
when's the right time to stop decoding clues at home
Mm.
and actually go out and start searching?
I see.
Do you wait until you think you've solved the whole poem? Or is there a point
Yeah.
where actually being in the area helps you figure out the rest?
That's a tough one, isn't it?
It is.
Every treasure hunter struggles with that, finding the balance. You know, you can spend too much time thinking and planning
Oh, yeah.
and never actually get anywhere.
Analysis paralysis.
But you also don't want to rush out without a good understanding of the clues.
Right. You could waste a lot of time.
Think of it like a detective working on a case.
Okay.
They gather evidence,
Yeah.
analyze it, and then they go out into the field when they have enough to know where to look.
So how does that apply to the JCB hunt?
Well, we know it's all based on this poem, right? But at what point do you say, okay, I've got enough information, let's go?
That's the big question.
Look for the geographical clues in the poem.
Like what?
Well, does it point to a specific state or a region? Maybe even a landmark.
Okay.
Once you have a good lead, even if you haven't solved the whole poem, being in that location can really help.
Oh, how so?
Well, you might recognize a landmark from the artwork,
Yeah.
or a geographical feature might suddenly make sense.
Because it matches something in the poem.
Exactly. It's like those old maps where
Yeah.
they draw a little tree or a rock,
Yeah.
and it would actually mark a hidden path or where treasure is buried.
Wow. I never thought about it like that.
And it makes sense, right?
It does. So you're saying sometimes you just have to be there to see it.
Sometimes being in the right place can really unlock the clues.
Okay, let's move on to our next letter.
All right, who's next?
This one's from Alex in Phoenix.
Phoenix, okay.
And he's struggling with the where of the JCB hunt.
Ah, the where.
Yeah. He says,
Okay.
hey, Deep Dive. I've done a lot of treasure hunts,
Good for you.
but this JCB one is really tough.
Yeah.
Where are we supposed to be looking?
Hmm.
Some clues seem to point to a specific state,
Okay.
but others seem like they're for a much smaller area.
Yeah, I see.
How do you narrow down the search area when the clues are all over the place?
That's a great question, Alex, and it's something that takes practice.
So it's not easy.
No. The JCB hunt is known for its layered clues.
Layered clues.
Yeah, clues that build on each other. And that's where geographical scoping comes in.
I've never heard of that.
It's basically like using a funnel.
A funnel.
Yeah, you start with a wide area.
Okay.
And then as you learn more, you make the area smaller and smaller.
Until you find the treasure.
Exactly.
So it's not just about following each clue as it comes
No,
on.
you have to think strategically.
You have to put the pieces together
Exactly.
to get a clearer picture of the location.
Exactly. Look for the key clues, the ones that give you solid geographical anchors.
What do you mean by anchors?
Clues that tell you a specific place. Maybe it mentions a mountain range or a historical event
right.
tied to a certain town, or maybe it hints at a state's nickname.
Okay, I get it.
Once you have a few of those anchors,
Mm-hmm.
you can start comparing them with other clues.
Yeah.
And that helps you rule out some places and get closer to the most likely search zone.
So it's like those old pirate maps.
Oh, yeah.
Where you have to line up 3 landmarks.
To find the buried treasure.
Exactly. You have to use all the clues together.
You got it.
Okay, well, we're out of time for this part of our deep dive.
Already.
But don't worry, we've got more letters to get to.
More treasure hunt mysteries to solve.
So make sure you tune in for part 2
We'll be right back.
to continue our JCB treasure hunt mailbag adventure.
See you soon.
Welcome back to the deep dive, where we're knee-deep in your JCB treasure hunt questions.
Let's get back to those letters.
Right at the temple. Our next letter comes from Maya from Charleston.
Charleston. Nice.
And she's thinking about teamwork.
Teamwork.
Yeah, in the treasure hunt.
Ah, interesting.
Maya asks,
Go ahead.
how much of the JCB treasure hunt are we supposed to do alone? And when does it make sense to team up with other people?
I see.
What are the good things and the bad things about sharing clues and information in this kind of hunt?
Oh, that's a big question.
It really gets to the heart of the treasure hunt community, right?
You're right. Every treasure hunt community debates this.
They do.
Yeah, working together can be really helpful.
How so?
Well, you get different perspectives, people with different skills and knowledge,
Right.
and it can help you decode things faster.
That makes sense.
But there are definitely some risks, too.
Like what?
Well, people might interpret the clues differently,
Oh, yeah, that could cause problems.
and there are trust issues.
Right. You have to be careful who you work with.
And of course, the big question is, how do you split the treasure?
If you find it.
Exactly. It's like they say 2 heads are better than 1,
Right.
unless those 2 heads start fighting.
That's a good way to put it.
So how do you decide about teamwork with this JCB hunt?
Yeah. That's what Maya wants to know.
Think about what you're good at and what you're not so good at.
Okay.
Are you amazing at codes but not so good at history?
Maybe.
Maybe you need someone who's great with geography.
To help you figure out locations.
Right. A team can help you fill in those gaps.
So it's all about finding people with different strengths.
Exactly. But be careful.
Yeah.
Choose people you can trust and set some ground rules from the beginning.
So like a treasure hunt contract.
Exactly. You don't want any surprises later on.
Okay, so it's not just about teaming up with anyone.
Right.
It's about finding the right people with the right skills.
Who you can trust.
Yeah, and who you can work with.
Exactly. Teamwork is about more than just numbers.
Okay, on to our last letter.
Awesome. Who is it from?
This one is from Jeff in Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, all right?
And he's got a really interesting question
Oh.
about who this whole treasure hunt is actually for. He asked,
What's the question?
who was the JCB treasure hunt designed for?
Good question.
Do you need to know a lot about history or literature or geography to solve it?
I see.
Or can anyone solve it if they're good at puzzles?
That's a question that gets to the core of what makes a good treasure hunt.
It does.
Yeah, good treasure hunt. And I think the JCB one is a good one.
Mhm.
Has something for everyone.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a basic level of difficulty that anyone can enjoy.
As long as they like puzzles and thinking.
Exactly. But then there are these other clues.
The layered ones.
Right.
The ones that are harder.
Yeah, the ones that reward people who know a lot about certain subjects.
So you're saying you don't need to be like a professor or anything?
No, not at all.
But it helps to know some stuff?
It can give you an edge.
So it's like this JCB treasure hunt has different levels.
It does.
It's like a video game.
Exactly. The basic level is for everyone.
Mm.
But if you know a lot about history, for example,
Yeah.
you might see a connection to a specific event.
That other people wouldn't notice.
Exactly. Or if you love literature,
Mm-hmm.
you might recognize something hidden in the poem.
Because of your knowledge.
Exactly. It's about using what you already know to help you solve the puzzle.
So you're saying the JCB hunt is both easy and hard at the same time?
I am. It's accessible to everyone, but it also rewards people who have deep knowledge.
It's brilliant.
It is, whoever designed this hunt did a really great job.
They did. It's a really clever way to make a treasure hunt.
I think so too. It keeps everyone engaged.
Well, we've reached the end of our JCB treasure hunt mailbag episode.
Time flies when you're hunting for treasure.
It really does.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've learned a lot from these questions.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much you can learn just by thinking about things from different angles.
It's true. And speaking of learning,
Yeah.
before we close the book on this episode,
Uh-huh.
I like that, close the book.
I'd love to get your final thoughts.
Sure.
What's the one piece of advice you would give to
Yeah.
all the treasure hunters out there? To all those still on the JCB trail?
Yes, them.
Okay, well, if I could give just one piece of advice, it would be this: remember that treasure hunts are about the journey as much as they are about the destination.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. You know, finding the treasure is the goal, of course.
Right, sure.
But don't get so focused on that you forget to enjoy the process.
That's so true. It's easy to get caught up in the competition.
Yeah, the excitement of the chase.
But there's something special about just enjoying the challenge.
The challenge of solving the puzzle.
And working with other people.
The camaraderie.
Right.
And here's the thing, even if you don't find the JCB treasure,
Yeah.
the skills you learn along the way,
Yeah.
like critical thinking, problem solving, research collaboration,
Borrow that stuff.
those are treasures in themselves.
Wow, I never thought about it like that.
They're skills you can use in all parts of your life.
So it's about embracing the whole experience?
It is.
The learning the fun of it all?
Exactly, no matter what happens in the end.
I love that.
Mm.
Any last words of wisdom?
Just one. Don't be afraid to think outside the box.
Right.
The best treasure hunt creators, they love to trick you.
Oh, yeah.
They lead you down one path and then... I'm surprised there's a twist.
So you have to be ready for anything.
Exactly. Challenge your assumptions, question your interpretations.
Don't take anything for granted.
And remember, sometimes the most obvious answer is the one you miss.
It's like that saying, the truth is hidden in plain sight.
Exactly.
Well, folks, there you have it.
Another deep dive complete.
A deep dive into the JCB treasure hunt.
Guided by your questions.
And the insights of a true treasure hunt expert.
It's been fun.
And to all you treasure hunters out there.
Yeah, keep searching.
Keep your minds sharp.
Your spirits high.
And never stop exploring.
You never know.
Maybe one of you will be the one.
To find that treasure.
To finally uncover the JCB treasure.
Until next time.
Happy hunting.
Well, folks, we hope you found today's video interesting and informative. Make sure to hit the like button if you did. Also, think about sharing it with another treasure hunter. And if you're not already a subscriber, please take a moment to do so now. We look forward to seeing you next time. Take care, and remember, there's a treasure out there waiting for you to find it.